No Puedes Jugar Boxeo, presentado por SEYER y The Aquino Destinations.
This fight, it could be your dream come true since you started. Not an easy beginning, but you're here.
Most definitely. I'm ready. I'm focused. Saturday night, y'all gonna see the best of me, and I can't wait to show it.
Both teams are like ready to fight. Your team is yelling. The Valdez team is yelling. Definitely, it could be a personal fight, right?
Personal? Nah, ain't nothing personal at the end of the day. I'm not taking nothing personal. It ain't nothing personal about this. I feel like it's business at the end of the day, and I'm going in there to keep that mindset of business and winning.
So you mentioned that maybe Valdez is coming, and he don't know how to box. Could you explain this, please?
I feel like he's trying to trick me. He's a veteran. He got more experience that they say, so I feel like he's trying to use a veteran tactic by saying that he's going to have a technical matchup with me, and then in the second round or the third round, he's going to come out winging.
Óscar Valdez said that Berchel is a tougher fighter than you are. What's your thoughts on that?
He never been in the ring with me before, so he wouldn't know how tough I am.
Hey, Shakur, would you like to dedicate this fight to your father?
I'm dedicating this fight to all my family and friends. I dedicate every fight to all my family and friends. So,
Shakur, you've had a lot of big moments in your career. I'm just kind of curious, like if you feel pressure coming into this fight, comparing it to your gold medal match years ago.
Nah, it's a whole different story. With the gold medal match, I'm probably a lot more calmer right for this fight than I was for my gold medal fight. I was younger at that time. Now I'm 24 years old. I done been in these arenas so many times. It's natural. It's normal to me now.
So you don't feel like any nerves or anxiousness or even like pressure that you're putting on yourself?
Nah, not at all. You can't put no pressure on yourself. At the end of the day, my grandfather told me as a kid that you only could worry about the things that you got control over. So I only got control over me going to training camp, giving 100% of my all, coming in shape, sharp, and that's what I got control over. After I go in the ring, I got control over that too, and I got to go in there and do what I got to do. I'm not worried about what's going on outside the ring. I'm not worried about how many people there is. Only me and Oscar in there.
Hey, you believe in the sweet science of hit and not get hit, just like Tyson Fury and Lomachenko. So why do you think some reporters imply that you are boring, but they don't say that about Tyson Fury and Lomachenko?
I don't know, man. I think certain people got biased opinions, I guess, but it is what it is. I ain't gonna trip on it no more. People gonna say what they want to say regardless. Like if you really think about it, I could go beat Valdez. The next excuse might be, oh, he's too little. When I beat Heron, they gonna say, oh, he's too old, and like you gonna get critics regardless at the end of the day. So I can't take anything that they saying to heart no more because there's a lot of people behind keyboards and all that stuff. They gotta feel me. You never know who behind the keyboard. It might be a little 3-year-old playing around. Like you never know. So I ain't tripping.
Shakur, what did you say to him in the face-off? You started laughing. You were smiling as well. What did you guys say to each other?
I said you gotta break the code. You gotta crack the code, and I had to let him know that this is not a difficult task, and I wanted him to know, come fight day, this is gonna be. This is a difficult task, basically. Like it's real difficult.
Before you're the bigger fighter, you're the longer fighter. How do you think?
Pause.
Sorry, nah. But how do you think that's going to play itself out in this fight on Saturday because of those two big advantages you hold?
I feel like I'm the more skillful fighter. I'm faster. I never know who really the bigger fighter until fight day because a lot of people say
you look bigger than him.
Yeah, but when I stood with Jamel was big than a motherfucker, and then no homo, no homo. He was big as hell, and then when I got in the ring, he felt little. Like I touched gloves, and I'm like, yo, this dude little. Like I kind of seen that, so you never know who is big until like actual fight day.
You said nobody beats Tyson Fury, so you believe Fury beats Jared Anderson and Joe Joyce?
Oh man, I never go against my brother. At the end of the day, my brother Jared could be any and everybody, but that's two different things. That's like when they talk about Boots and Bud, like that's two different kind of things because that's like Bud is older now. He's not about to fight Boots. That's not no big fight. Jared is young. Tyson Fury and Jared is not gonna fight each other anytime soon, so it's not gonna be I'm not even thinking about like Jared and Tyson Fury. I know Tyson just retired. Now he's about to go hang the gloves up. Now it's time for Jared to take over.
You said Fury. You said Fury is one of the greatest of all time. Do you believe he's greater than like Lennox Lewis?
I mean, I'm just gonna say this, and people gonna hate me for saying this because I gotta be real. I feel like with Tyson Fury's size and weight and his boxing skills, he's one of the hardest fighters to beat ever, like of all time, just because of the fact that he's so like he's tall, like he got skills like a welterweight. So I think he'll give any fighter in our pastime trouble.
Even like Ali or Tyson?
Ali was what, 220?
6'2".
He was 220.
Yeah.
Like
6'3".
Tyson Fury 6'9", 280. Like that was like it's fighting a cheat code. Like that's not fair. Like you feel me?
Shakur, how this fight how do you want this fight to be remembered after the years? Because it could be a historic fight.
I want this fight to be remembered that I dominated the fight and I went in there and I controlled the fight and like a lot of Floyd fights or Sugar Ray Leonard or Pernell Whitaker, you watch them dudes, they go in there, they dominate their fights, and I want it to be like that.
So you want to write a beautiful story so you can tell to your grandkids when the time comes.
Yeah, I want to be known as one of the fighters who fought the fighters in their prime, fought them at their best, and I fought Óscar Valdez when it was time, and I went in there, I beat him at his best.
To be fighting on this big stage with the MGM Grand Prix, this means historic fights. What does it mean?
I feel good. I feel like I'm coming into a superstar. I feel like I'm going to be a superstar, a real superstar, like Canelo Alvarez kind of superstar as my career grow, and I feel like it's happening. This is all a part of the course.
Shakur, I got to ask you about this just because I'm like a boxing fan too. I saw you sparring with Terrence Crawford at that photo. Can you tell me about those sparring sessions? Like, how is it sparring Terrence?
I came up a little different than everybody. I kind of keep sparring in the gym, but I will say Terrence pushed me. He pushed me all the time. Every time we spar, he pushed me to new levels.
Yeah, I'm not asking if you got the better of him, but like, how is it to be there in there with him? Like, what makes him so difficult, so tricky when you're in there with him?
I feel good being in there with Terrence Crawford, but he's a special fighter. Like, Bud is a thinker. He can do everything. There's nothing Terrence Crawford can't do in the ring. He got speed, power. He can switch orthodox, switch southpaw. Terrence Crawford is a blessed fighter who got it all.
So based on that, what happens with the Spence fight?
Okay.
I don't know. That's
Let's
a
focus
great
on this
fight.
with-
Much love to both fighters.
Jamel Herring told me that timing was going to be the thing Valdez is going to have the most trouble with you. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. But like I said, it's different fighters. Styles make fights. You can't look at Óscar Valdez like he's a Jamel Herring because it's two different type of fighters. And he's probably going to come in there try to do something different. Jamel Herring is more so a boxer, a boxing puncher. And Valdez is more so a brawler, puncher. So
you really don't think he's going to box? I know you said that you thought he was trying to trick you up there, but you really don't think he'll attempt to box you?
Who would think that? Like, I think, if you really think about it, like, can you imagine him coming out boxing for 5-6 rounds and then he'll be down 6 rounds and then got to make up for lost time? And I don't think that's a smart idea. So I think that he's saying that to try to trick me. I think he's being a veteran, using his experience, had me think he's going to go in there boxing. I think he's going to back up and round 1 come out winging. So that's what I see.
I'm curious. This will be
Thank
my
you.
last one, Shakur. I spoke to Teofimo, and he felt that this fight was 50-50, and I asked him why, when a lot of people had you as a favorite. And he said, Shakur doesn't like to be pressured, and Óscar does really bad against boxers. I'm just curious about your thoughts on maybe some people saying this could be a 50-50 fight and the contrast of the styles.
I don't know what he's talking about. At the end of the day, he's talking about I don't like to be pressured, but y'all remember me fighting Joet Gonzalez, right? Joet Gonzalez was a solid fighter who pressed me, who tried to pressure me, and I outboxed him. So I don't know what he was talking about. I don't know what he meant, but that's his opinion. At the end of the day, you can't take his opinion away from him. He got his own opinion. He can believe what he wants. I just got to show him that I'm the better fighter.
Thank you.
No Puedes Jugar Boxeo fue presentado por SEYER y Diaquino Destinations.